Most of the industrial organizations, trade associations, as well as sector-wise associations also, they are feeling nervous because of these tax incentives given to the other area. We are not against to the financial package given to any of the states, but at the same time, the level playing field should be maintained between the two regions of Andhra Pradesh, that is Telangana and Andhra. Without that, the small and medium enterprise, it will be very difficult to compete with each other in other regions. And before going to my welcome address, the Telangana region as a part of the princely state of Hyderabad witnessed impressive growth. This development was possible due to the favorable weather, geographical, centrally located, and entrepreneurial culture, excellent infrastructure, including connectivity, power, as well as the availability of rich mineral resources. This continued in the post-independence days also. Various industries including DBR Mills, VST, Adamjai Mills, Raga Tools, Alvin, VST, Sar Silk, Nizam Sugars were running successfully before the 1956 itself. In the last 3 years, TIF has worked both in the statehood movement and also in the resolution of the problems faced by the industrialists of the Telangana region. TIF actively participated in the Telangana Joint Action Committee movement for Telangana state, apart from participating in all the activities of the movement. TIF also provided organizational and logistic support. TIF organized several public meetings, seminars, cultural meets to spread awareness about Telangana statehood. In addition to this, TIF took up issues affecting Telangana industries and the industries in the Telangana region, especially power supply. TIF struggled during the unprecedented power supply shortage helped to alleviate the plight of the industries to a great extent. TIF also plans to take up greater role with the motto of increase the competitiveness of Telangana industries. Towards this end, we have taken up several initiatives. The inclusive development is essential to the sustainable growth of the industry. TIF will work actively to ensure equitable industrial development in all the districts. We will take up the entrepreneurship initiatives by motivating budding entrepreneurs and youth in Telangana region. We will also work out with the NRI bodies to reverse the flight of the talent and capital that has plagued our country all these years. We will work with the government to ensure the necessary educational policies focus on improving technical and financial management skills as well as creating a motivated, skilled workforce. Now coming to the main aspect of this seminar today, as you are all aware, Dr. Manmohan Singh, the Honorable Prime Minister, in the statement on the floor of the Rajya Sabha on February 20th, 2014, addressed several concerns raised on the behalf of Seemandhra region. Among others, PM announced special category status will be extended to the successor state of Andhra Pradesh. I would like to give a small briefing about this, what is this special category status, and then go into the actual subject. It is important to understand the significance of special category status. Planning Commission allocates funds to the states through central assistance for the state plans. Normal central assistance, that is called NCA, the dominant component of the central assistance, is allocated first to the special category status states based on their requirements. The nature of the assistance also varies for special category status. NCA is split into two components. 90% is the grant, 10% is the loan for special category status states. Against 30% grant, 70% loan for other states. SCS states enjoy concessions in excise duty, customs duty, income tax and other corporate taxes also, apart from various packages for development of industrial infrastructure in those regions. This factor in the hands of non-deserving states may also have a devastating effect on other states also. The criteria. There are several special category states in India. All these states meet one or more of the defined criteria. That is strategic location, maybe nearer to the international border, hilly and difficult terrains, low population areas, sizable share of the tribal population, or non-viable nature of the state finances. This is the criteria adopted by the Development Council in according the status. The special category status requests of the Bihar, a border state, and also Jharkhand have not been approved, leading to a furor in both these states for the last 3-4 days. The request of the other applicant states, including Rajasthan, a border state with low population density, and Orissa, with sizable tribal population, are also in abeyance for the launch. Seamandhra may not be meeting the single criteria of the special category state. According to the Sri Krishna Committee, coastal Andhra is a superior economic entity within the AP. With its per capita GDP is much higher than the national average and stands 10th in the ranking amongst the states of India. Even the comparatively poor region of Rayalaseema is stated to be just at the notch below the national average of the per capita GDP. The committee also asserts that coastal Andhra and Rayalaseema together can sustain themselves as a state. Seamandhra deficit is alleged to be around 6,300 crores, while Telangana surplus is claimed at 4,500 crores. This fails to take into consideration the following aspects. One is, the commercial taxes are a significant part of the state revenue. These taxes are counted at the point of remittance. Companies selling goods and services in Seamandhra would in the future remit these taxes in the new states. The deficit in the present state is around 1,875 crores. After distributing the commercial taxes accounted in Hyderabad's revenue and apportioning the above deficit, the actual deficit is likely to be manageable. The alleged deficit can be taken care by the fiscal discipline in the states. Now, coming to the subject, the repercussions of this on the industries existing in Hyderabad in Telangana districts have to be taken care. Outside of Hyderabad, Telangana has been virtually no industrial development after formation of AP. On the other hand, there are several industries including IDPL, Alvin, etc. have been systematically closed. Even the industries that still remain are pale ghosts of the former glorious days. When an industry closed down, it has a serious effect in the surrounding area also. Ancillary industries, most of them being small-scale industries, suffered untold damages. Material suppliers, service contractors, and others dependent on the industry lose their livelihood. Infrastructure in the area starts deteriorating, leading to an all-round crisis in the society. Much of the development in Hyderabad is in the IT and service sectors, not in the industrial sector, manufacturing sector. Unfortunately, these high-profile businesses do not generate any supplemental business opportunities by way of ancillary industry or service contracts. Due to the twin factors of no new industry coming up in this area and closure of the existing public sector and many other industries, the micro, small and medium enterprise in Telangana are in a state of crisis. Agriculture in Telangana has borne the brunt of political neglect in the last 6 decades. Tanks, a major source of water, have totally vanished. With inadequate water, canal water, Telangana farmers are forced to seek agro-based industries, but the support from the government is minimal. The Telangana reconstruction requires dedicated focus on the industrial development. This is hampered by the several problems, including shortage of power, inadequate land bank, poor access to the credit, crumbling infrastructure, virtually non-existing technical training facilities. Backward districts such as Adilabad are poorly connected to Hyderabad. Villages throughout Telangana are lacking even basic facilities and amenities. Seamandhra is blessed with a long coastline of 1,000 kilometers, well-established infrastructure, excellent rail road network and a strong land bank. Around 80% of the total APAC land bank. The state is already surplus in power with several new generating stations coming up very shortly. The large industries such as Visakhapatnam Steel Plant provides a great opportunity for the ancillary industries also. The material suppliers and service contractors too. The major ports in the state similarly offer opportunities for budding entrepreneurs. Upcoming initiatives such as BCPIR are expected to boost the prosperity of the region. Proximity to Chennai and Bengaluru and Hyderabad acts as a major driving force in most of these districts of the coastal Andhra. If we look into the statistics provided by APIAC regarding the development of industrial parks and land banks, one will be stunned to know all these factors. Everybody feels that Telangana region is most developed industrial area. But when you come into the details of APIAC, the statistics of APIAC, the total land bank taken possession in Andhra since inception of APIAC is 97,873 acres, whereas it is only 28,452 acres since inception of APIAC. Even in this meager 28,452 acres, only Rangareddy district and Medak district, the two districts of Telangana out of 10 districts, constitute 23,500 acres. Only the remaining 4,900 acres is in the districts of Telangana, the other 8 districts of Telangana. This clearly shows how development of industries has taken place in this region. The total number of industrial parks, if you take, developed by APIAC, in Andhra it is around 199 industrial parks. In Telangana it is only 133 parks. Out of these 133 parks, the two districts of Telangana, Hyderabad and Rangareddy and Medak, have 90 parks, and all the remaining 8 districts of Telangana have only 40 parks, which constitutes 5 parks for each industrial district, Telangana district. When you come to the present land bank position as on date, out of the total 40,000 acres of the land bank available with APIAC as on date, 35,000 acres of land bank is in Andhra region. Only 5,000 acres is in the 10 districts of Telangana region. Out of this 5,000 also, 4,900 acres, 4,800 acres only in Hyderabad. No other Telangana district, not even a single park has been developed for the last 10 years except GIP park at Olepalli, Mahbubnagar district. That is the only new park has come up in the last 10 years. There is no other park in Telangana region, in the districts of Telangana. After the new Land Acquisition Act taken up by the centre, it has become very difficult to acquire land for industries and shall be very expensive under these circumstances. No industrial park can come in this area in the next 2 to 3 years because the present Land Acquisition Act, which will be coming into force, it takes minimum 2 to 3 years to acquire the land from private persons, and the cost of the land also will be 4 to 5 times expensive than the present rate as per the new act. From this it is very clear that the 8 districts of Telangana are most backward on the industrial front and need to be given special packages for all the districts of Telangana. The above factors by themselves tilt the balance against Telangana. The proposed special category status award under the guise of addressing Seemandhra concerns will totally distort the level playing fields between the two regions. No industrialist can ignore the powerful magnet of special category status related to tax benefits. This will ensure that all or most of the proposed investments will move to Seemandhra to the serious detriment of the Telangana region. Telangana and also the neighboring states will suffer flight of capital as industrialists seeking to leverage the special category status related tax benefits. This can lead to a permanent damage on the reconstruction activities that are going to be taken up in Telangana region. Telangana is seeking to revive its once thriving small and medium enterprises. These sectors will be dealt a crushing blow with the Seemandhra special category status. Industries based in Telangana as well as all the non-special category states, especially in the neighborhood, will be a tremendous disadvantage in the today's competitive world. No amount of innovation or efficiency can bridge the pricing gap between an industry receiving a huge tax benefit and that does not receive. Telangana industries will lose their customer base and eventually will be forced to shut down. This will lead to a vicious circle culminating into a catastrophic dimensions. Special category status is awarded after a rigorous examination of the state application. In the present case, the state that has not come up yet into existence has neither applied for the status nor provided any supporting documentary evidence. Suo cognizance of these centers is unwarranted. Awarding to special category status to Seemandhra if it is unwarranted, then if the government insists on awarding the special category status to Seemandhra in spite of all these things, this status should be restricted only to the financial package, funding part is concerned. Alternatively, all the tax benefits, incentives may be extended to Telangana industries in the interest of the fairness and justice. Because the level playing field, once this is disturbed, the entire reconstruction of Telangana will be under crisis. So with this, I thank everybody for coming to this seminar and for the opportunity given to me. I will thank everybody. Thank you all.